The KEVET project, Kenya Initiative for Vocational Education and Training, is a project that brings together partners. The main partner is the Chamber of Skilled Crafts, Frankfurt, Rhein-Main. In Kenya, we have 3 key partners. That is the Kenya Federation of Master Builders, the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, and the Kenya Association of Technical Training Institutions. It's a partnership project that aims at bringing together organizations working in technical and vocational training to support the employability of young people.
The dual training, where you find that we incorporate the industry and the learning institution, is very much important, because you find that the graduates who they are trained within the technical training institutes are supposed to work within the industries. So you find that we must have that collaboration, where you find that we know what the industry requires, so that we train on the needs of the industry.
The construction industry in Kenya has seen a massive boom in the past 10, 15 years. There's a lot of construction going on in the major cities.
The dual training system, as it is in several European countries, especially in Germany, works quite in a different way. The young student, after leaving school, applies not to a college but to a company for being trained, for instance, as a technician or in industrial electronics and so on. And he signs a contract even before he has a certificate. And it will be a contract for 3 years, where the company then accompanies the young student in his training. And the training takes place then in a college, and for the theoretical part, as well as in the company. And at the end of the 3 years training, he gets his certificate, and he is known by the company. He has been trained with the technology used in the company. He knows work ethics of the company, and the company knows the young person. So he gets his certificate and almost immediately his job within the company where he was trained.
In the last 3 years, the KEVET project has been able to train trainers who will be able to train other trainers within the industry. The training was carried out at the Kabete National Polytechnic, and we are happy to have had 4 trainings so far that have been able to produce graduates who we look forward to working with and will influence the sector to be able to recognize scaffolding as a very important trade, and a standalone trade for that matter.
The value I've had from this is it has given me more skills to train others so that they keep in touch with the industry.
Working at height is a major area for us because it's an area with a lot of hazards, and one of the key elements in working at height is the use of scaffolding, and therefore it is an area that we are giving a lot of emphasis, because it's an area where a lot of accidents occur. With unsafe scaffolding on site, everybody is unsafe.
I started off as a civil engineer who specialized right after university in scaffolding. I'm doing this for 31 years, and from day one I was a site manager and worked my way up, and had to do with all fields in scaffolding. We always start off with a risk assessment and the safety aspects, because those are the most important. After this, we start off with the basic training in tube and couplers, which are the basic material in scaffolding. After this, we continue to modular scaffold to see how this builds up on the principle of tubes and couplers. It's a development which we are doing within this 1 week.
There are few people who could do the scaffolding as a trade now it's a trade on its own. You can do scaffolding and you make a living out of scaffolds only.
There are huge opportunities for those who want to get involved in professional scaffolding in this country going forward. Scaffolding is seen as a standalone trade in Germany, and that means that there's an opportunity for the Kenyan market, the Kenyan industry, to be able to set up scaffolding companies that are able to be subcontracted to construction sites.
One of the things we want to do is actually to ensure that our contractors understand the benefit of having a well-designed, well-erected, well-maintained, as well as dismantling your scaffold so that you can use it for future projects. Because if you have metal scaffold, this is a scaffold that you can use for numerous projects.
For many years, scaffolding was not seen as a standalone trade. If you are a carpenter, you could do scaffolding. If you are a mason, you could do scaffolding. And that also impacted in the tendering process, because scaffolding not being part of the permanent works, when the people bid for projects, they did not take scaffolding as an integral part of the project. And as a business lobby group, we have also felt that this also has a major impact on our environment, because these are trees being cut from already depleted forest resources. We would like to urge building contractors to take advantage of this arrangement which is being made by KEVET to bring their workers to be trained, they acquire the necessary skills. The training is entirely free from what I understand, which I believe is a very good gesture from the German organization. So we urge contractors to take full advantage of this initiative.
If you look at statistics, countries who run this dual training system, the general youth unemployment rate is very low. And that's one of the reasons we in Germany would very much like to promote this idea and help to sensitize decision makers and companies and politicians in other countries where unemployment rates among the youth are very high. And we have been now here in Kenya for the last 3 years, since the end of 2014, in various fields like scaffolding, industrial electronics, bodywork, spray painting, and other professions, where we introduce elements of this dual training systems and cooperate with various partners like Kenyan Federation of Master Builders or the Kenya Private Sector Alliance, KATI, and several schools, institutions like KEVET National Polytechnic, KTTC, also private institutions like St. Kizito or ECT, the Eastlands College of Technology.